Welcome to part 3 of the LHS NHL podcast. Hope you enjoyed part 2. We're going to get it going with some hot takes.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And first of all, we got the All-Star game coming up in a few weeks. And Ovi sitting out.
Yeah.
Is this because he's super physical and he's taking a break? Or is he just like, I do not care?
I don't know. I think it's because I wouldn't say he's physical. I would say he's getting old.
Yeah.
He needs his time for himself,
Gray hair.
No
teeth.
Losing teeth. I mean, so for him to go into June last year, it was June 15th-ish the Stanley Cup was won?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Ovechkin played really late into the season, and then to start up in late September, early October, it takes a toll on your body, and he's old.
Yeah.
So he needs this time for himself. I think that's why he's sitting out. Another thing with the All-Star Game, first year of the last men in competition. For those who do not know, the NHL and the players all pick captains, and then the captains of each division will pick their team.
Yeah.
This year, each captain left one spot open on their roster, and the fans of the NHL got to vote for who they wanted out of a select few. What do you think of this? Do you think this was a great idea? Do you think this was a poor idea? Or do you think they could have done some edits to
I
it?
think it's a great idea. I think they're taking a book out of the other NHL and NBA. There's a fan vote that weighs in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
But I do
but
like
this right here is like, this is the only thing that mattered. Like, the players had nothing to deal with the last man in. Like, you could vote if you wanted, but the vote is the only thing that counted.
Yeah, and I think in hockey, I think one of the reasons that they did this, the NHL probably wouldn't come out and say this, but I think one of the reasons is because in hockey, there's a lot of guys that are fun to watch, and then there's guys that hockey players like. And the guys that hockey players like are like the guys that, they're good passers, good distributors, or, good fighting on the boards and all this stuff, but no one wants to watch that. And it's like Jeff Skinner, one of the guys that got in. Everyone wants to watch a goal scorer.
Yeah.
It's like who cares if the captain likes this guy who's good at blocking shots? No one wants. It's the All-Star game. Let's have some fun.
I'm here to watch people get absolutely demolished, or B, some crazy hands moved and score
we want to see some
goal.
Careers ended at the All-Star game.
I want to see some ankles broken is what I want.
Yes. And also, again, with Ovi sitting out, there is a rumor around the league that Russian players in the NHL are paid by Vladimir Putin to do whatever they want. They get an unlimited Russian KGB credit card, and they just go out and spend it out on the town whenever they want. And Ovi is quite easily known as the biggest partier in the NHL.
Oh, yes.
And, there are some guys, like some defensemen, that don't really do a lot every single night, that party a lot, but Ovi is, he means a lot to his team and to the league, but he tends to, risk his
life.
His life, and his blood has to be part vodka.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
After watching what he did to that Stanley Cup, how many keg stands did he do on the cup? You can't even do them anymore. NHL banned it because of him.
Aaron, do you agree that these Russian players, man?
There's quite a large influx of Russian players in the NHL in the past few years. I'm going to have to agree with it. I mean, why are they all here? You got hockey in your own country, and it's just as popular here.
They tend to lose in the playoffs exactly as the IIHF World Championships start.
Yes.
And Russia tends to win that quite a bit.
Or do fairly well every year.
The fact that kind of every Russian player in the league is on that team, Ovechkin, Kucherov, all those guys, they tend to be out of it by that time. I think Putin's got a little bit to do with that. Maybe there's a hockey Putin, like a different. There's different versions of Putin, and they're all lookalikes. And one of them's a hockey guy, one of them's a military guy.
Who knows? I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to agree with those conspiracy theories out that there's a Russian credit card floating around, and Ovi's had it the past few years.
Yeah, and Ovi's had to. He's had to get in a few bar fights and kill people. I gotta think
he's a trained spy. Easy.
There's gotta be, just like a cell in a DC jail that's just for people that tried to fight Alex Ovechkin that night. And they're like, Arna, like, isn't he going to go to jail? Like, he almost, like snapped my neck. And they're like, that's Alex Ovechkin. He can't do anything.
We need him.
Yeah, and to go along with that, Crosby, softest player in the league.
Ever?
Okay?
Yes. Don't even debate over. That's
Okay,
it.
so
You
you're
Penguins
saying,
fan?
Ever.
Yeah, pretty close to it. I mean,
I'm going to agree. Whatever. For the podcast.
You know, no, for the podcast. Do you have something else to say? I mean, I have to say, comments down below.
Yes.
He is the softest player in the NHL.
So soft.
So soft. He gets hit. His first play in the NHL, Philadelphia Flyers, Claude Giroux came in right after the opening face-off of the game, laid him on his butt, and said, "Welcome to the NHL."
Yeah.
That was his first experience, and from then on, I think he's mentally scarred. He doesn't want to get close to people.
He gets taken off his skates. He's
wimp.
tiny. And he literally, and I think Ovechkin, you know, he proved it last year. He said, "I am the best player." He said, or I'm going to rephrase that. "I am the best player in the league." And so
that was a terrible Russian accent.
I accidentally spoke French there. Yeah, and so, but Ovechkin took him off his skates pretty much every single game when they played in the playoffs, putting goals in. And Crosby, he puts goals in. He makes passes, but he just gets beat up on the ice. And it's not like toughness beat up. It's like he's...
Diary of a Wimpy Crosby. Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
It's like, he doesn't even, like... I don't think... I've never seen him near the boards. That has something to do with, like...
Yeah.
He
stays in the open ice to avoid getting hit, because if he gets hit in the open ice, more than likely there's going to be a penalty called because of it.
And another thing I noticed, Ovechkin makes a lot of dirty hits and never gets put in the box.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Ever.
He it's kind of, you know, maybe it comes back to the Putin thing. Maybe he's paying off the refs with his card.
Tom Wilson, another Capital, he's their fighter. He's all scoring defenseman.
Everyone hates Tom Wilson except for Capitals fans, okay?
No
one in the NHL likes him.
I love Tom Wilson.
There you go, because he's a Capitals fan. No one else likes him.
And so, but Tom Wilson is pretty much, there are still guys that are hitters in the league, but yeah. And so Tom Wilson, he is a fighter, and he takes all the penalty minutes for the Capitals, and Ovi is just sitting pretty on the bench. He's just there. You know? And again, Blackhawks, are they done?
I think their franchise for this decade and next decade is kind of coming to an end. They made their cup run for the past. They won 3 cups this decade.
Had their time.
I think they had a great run. They had a very similar run to the Penguins, but not talked about as much. Yeah. I really do think that their franchise for this next decade or so is coming to a close. They lost in the Winter Classic to Boston. They're really not doing too hot right now, unless they really do change something on the lines or something like that. I really do think they might be able to fix it. But as of right now, I'm feeling like their quest for the Cup is done for a few years to come.
Yeah, I gotta say, not saying that their franchise is done, like they're not going to be a team. Now, if that does happen, we had it first. Yeah, we got the take.
We said it first.
But Patrick Kane's old. Jonathan Taze, he had his cover. He's done, okay? Done. And, that's it. So, the Capitals, Penguins are slowing down now, but, the Penguins are slowing down, but the Blackhawks, they don't look good. Yeah. And, that means a lot. So, and that's how you win games.
Yeah, gotta look
good. Another thing, can Zion Williamson, Duke basketball player, great defender, good dunker, can he play hockey?
Better than LeBron?
If you want to make that a part of it, sure.
Yeah, you know what?
Never seen LeBron play hockey, but whatever.
I've never seen Zion play hockey, but you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. Zion Williamson can play hockey better than LeBron James. You heard it here, folks. Yep. If there is ever a one-on-one competition between Zion Williamson and LeBron James with the best goaltenders in the net, Zion Williamson will come out on top. Yeah. LeBron James probably saw ice skates and said, "Why are you trying to stab me?" Okay? Yeah. So, no.
Zion Williamson, about 6'7", 6'8", about Zdeno Chara's height with Ovechkin's thickness. And,
thickness.
And I think he's got a pretty good slap shot in there. I don't know about the wrister. He's got some pretty big forearms. Probably can't move the stick too easily. But, is that all we got to say about that?
Yeah,
Zion's better.
Zion's better. Honestly, basketball is Zion's worst sport.
Yeah. And then, is the Eastern Conference better? Statistically, it's not a question. but we like to debate, embrace debate. So let's talk about that. So.
Eastern Conference is better than the Western Conference, only because I feel market.
Yes.
People in the West don't like to watch hockey. They'd rather watch football and maybe baseball, okay?
Yeah.
And soccer's kind of big out there.
And surf.
Yeah, and surf.
Idiots.
And smoke. That's like all they got going for them, okay? If we're going to be honest here. Eastern Conference is better because of markets. If you look at the past few Stanley Cup champions, they've been right around the Mississippi over to the Eastern Seaboard. I really do. The Eastern Conference is better because people want to watch it out here, I feel, and they get the money so they can make the trades to get better players. Alex Ovechkin's really done a big thing for the NHL, kind of becoming a partier, winning the cup, and bringing a lot of attention to it.
Fun guy.
Now, on the other hand, Vegas Golden Knights, a Western Conference team, did a lot for the NHL last year, being an expansion team, first-year expansion team, to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. A group of only, I believe, 3 teams, the St. Louis Blues and Minnesota North Stars, are the only 2 other teams, and Minnesota isn't even a team. Minnesota North Stars aren't even a team anymore. They're now the Dallas Stars. They're the only 2 other teams, I believe, to do that. So for them to come in now with a bunch of no-names and make a run for the Cup and give Washington a run for their money, that was a great thing for the NHL. But the Eastern Conference is still better.
Yeah, it's not really close, cup-wise, but the Western Conference, they got their players, at a time, LA had Kopitar and Jonathan Quick, and then, you got Johnny Gaudreau out there now, probably the best player in the West. Or is Edmonton in the West?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, it's between McDavid and Gaudreau in the West, and but I think the East is definitely better. You got the Crosby Ovechkin debate over there, and they got all the big names. That's where the cups are. That's where the names are. That's where the NHL wants to be. And even though they're putting teams over on the West, I don't think the NHL knows what they're doing specifically. They're kind of stupid.
Yeah, they put a team in Seattle. I think it's good because they're bringing hockey back to Seattle. But I don't know. I hope they don't do what they did with Vegas, but we'll have to wait and see. That's 2021-2022 season, I believe. That's their inaugural season.
Yep. And so what else do we got to talk about? Is that it, Aaron? Yeah. So this was the LHS NHL podcast. Crosby, softest player in the league. Ovi is the king, the grade 8. And I'm Ed.
And I'm Aaron.
And that is it.